Who is it?
Hey,
Vinny!
dude, are you there?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up,
I'm
my
here,
brother?
man.
How are you,
Dude, I
man?
don't have a scary story, man.
I was like, I'm gonna have pretty much a heart attack. I'm like having a heart attack, but I can't scream or anything. Basically, laying on the floor, panicking.
Oh!
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Oh!
You built the place. I haven't seen the Hopi in thousands of years. Don't make fun of my people. Period.
Sorry,
I'll pull
grandfather.
out your ass and cut you up into little bitty bits.
Facebook page down because people said Richie from Boston's gay. He's gay. I'm gay. I'm a gay man.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can prosecute me for that if you like.
No, it's not why I'm doing that. I'm just saying there's a lot
But
of...
that is what you did. Bigelow started buying websites, including one in British Columbia, Canada. So all of a sudden, this kind of triggered Brian Vike.
Welcome back to Third Phase of the Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. We've got a few UFO videos that we want to share with you.
Welcome back, everybody. Blake Cousins, along with Orlando Smith and Brent Cousins, we're going to be going over incredible imagery.
Third phase of the moon. Third phase of the moon.
Ten, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Oh, welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Thursday, the 22nd of the year 2026. Too many twos and a Thursday. Glad you can make it. Whoa, we've got a blur out here at the factory. Come on, everybody. See, we did this last night, remember? Testing. You don't know me. Where is he? I heard him. Is he still here? No, not Hulk. Macho Man. Oh, yeah, brother. I heard what's going on. I can't do it. I can't do it. You got a lot of nerve. I can't do it for some reason. My voice still hurts from puking last Sunday. All right, here it comes. All right, now we're back. Tonight, we are going to just discuss for 5 seconds and then watch a bunch of bullshit. Good stuff. Now, actually, there is. This is a weird day in ufology for me. There's so much Vargina talk. It's crazy. Okay. I may sound like the dumbest, more than usual right now, what I'm about to say. No, I'm going to do this differently. Can you guys just answer as quickly as possible? How many aliens were there in that Vargina crash? Just the one, right? Or two? Or am I wrong on that? Hey, Ms. DJ, da, 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 da. How you doing, girl? Good to see you. Happy New Year. What's up, James? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Teresa Pulio and Brian Yates are in the chat room, and they're awfully great. What's up, Bernie Miro? There were four aliens. Guys, I remember when that case came out. What year was it? 96, 7? And there was only one. People saw them, right? But what I just watched, and I think I still can find that video real quick, was a guy talking about 4 aliens that crashed in one, the famous one that Fox made a movie about it, James. Isn't that wild? I don't understand. Varginha. I don't know where. It's the same thing. It's weird. And, I got really prepared for tonight's show. So I have all the links ready in the order I want to play them. And they won't load. They're just sitting there with retry on it. Something went wrong. So I'm going to try reloading them now. Let's see. I've got 10 of them. 1. Retry. It worked. All right, they're back. Number 2. Hey, that worked too, because I've got some good stuff. Like I said, it's a weird day. There's a horrible sphere video from Australia. I think it's Australia. I'm just going to play it because I want you to recognize what to look for. That's all. You understand? Oh. Cough button. I have got some Lockheed Martin news. I can't believe it's him. Richard Hogan. What was his name? Richard Hoagland. Got a video with him. There's it's Alaska. That's where that Sapphire in the Snow video came from. I don't think it's real, because if it is, disclosure just happened. And then I've got some really weird. This might be the best UFO video of the year. Oh, and last year. What I have here. It's multiple UFOs reported over, it just says the USA, but it's a weird one. Yeah, I like that. We'll show that in a minute. And then what else we got? Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the single most important question of our time. Who do you think I am? Who do you say that I am? The upcoming alien deception will be so great as to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Gentlemen, let us not be torn apart by, at the very moment when we need each other the most. Yeah, is this? I feel like I'm not hearing. Oh, there it is. God is raising up Christians. Be careful with the God stuff here. Religion, who don't fit the religious mold. People no one expects. He moves through unexpected people in ordinary places and through untraditional paths. Non-traditional, untraditional. It's okay, but, it's non. Rather, let us all suffer our disagreements and differences, because the only thing that matters is, who did you say that I am? Which brings us right back to the thumbnail of tonight's show. Aliens donating their blood meaning it's mixed in with ours. Get the joke? Yeah. I know that's a just how I would perceive 1,000 years into the future, You know, don't worry about me. I'll be all right. You guys all right? Everybody here? We already did roll call. We did. Sorry, guys. Rich is a jerk. Anjali's here. How you doing, Anjali? Oh, I think I have an Anjali thing. No, I wasn't gonna play that one tonight or show that one. I may. It's on things I might talk about list. Hold on, I wanna get this. There we go. I already did roll call. Now, if you want to help support the greatest UFO network, whatever, you know what to do. All the links are in the show description. Let's go. Here we go. Washington, D.C., Varginha alien press event, deadly bombshell. That's the Come on, man, from Red Panda today. Brazilian pathologist professor Dr. João Giannini, 60-plus year career, 50,000 autopsies, 1 million microscopic analysis, says the soldier who handled a creature and died days later from a freak infection. He was the doc. He was there. It's real. I believe it. I believe in the Varginha UFO. I believe that thing actually happened. I do. I do. I believe there was a creature of some sort. I do. I just don't like the way people try spinning unnecessary narratives. All right, we'll get back to that.
Focusing exclusively.
Hold on.
My conclusions focusing exclusively on the identification and analysis of the bacterium responsible for the infection that affected the soldier. This bacterium proved to be a microbial agent of extremely high aggressiveness and lethality. Given its characteristics, I understand that it goes beyond the limits of a conventional infection, possibly presenting itself as a highly specialized mechanism of aggression and defense, which raises the hypothesis of its alien origin.
This guy is as exciting as watching paint drip. Now that's too exciting.
We are currently awaiting the necessary legal procedures for the exhumation of the body, with the expectation that advanced studies in molecular biology may provide new evidence regarding its mechanisms of aggressiveness, corroborating the hypothesis that it is an organism of extraterrestrial origin.
Okay. That is so amazing to me. And here we, 30 years later, and it's still very topical. Of course, the movie just came out a little bit ago, but that should have been on the, I don't remember 30 years ago if this was on the front page of Time Magazine or, Scientific America, something like that might have been just shoved into Zawi Hawass's tomb.
If confirmed, such a finding would represent unequivocal proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life,
Say word.
implying a profound global reformulation of our philosophical understanding of existence.
Mm-hmm.
January the 8th, 2026, Varginha, Dr. J. Giannini.
Very cool. It is. It's pretty cool if that's real. I think it is. I don't. James Fox did enough work that I think it's evident there was something there. It's pretty awesome. There's stuff all over this world. That's what's so weird. All right, let's move on. I just wanted to do a brief show and keep you in the loops. Yeah. 4. I got to find that clip. I don't know if it was YouTube or if I was on Instagram. I was all over today because I'm going to be using Instagram for Goof On soon. And I I'm just looking to see, how to use it and whatever. How to use it. Oh. All right. Oh, okay. So this is just me being a fan of Kevin James. King of Queens, the comedian, kind of a big, robust guy, same age as me, grew up in Queens, I believe. Here we go. His movie looks pretty cool. And I didn't have that before. Here we go. Wait, it's not working. Hold on, peeps. Another screen just came up. It tricked me. Every time you click on it, I think it opens up a new way to watch it. It must have timed out.
Signore. Hey, I'm just gonna need to move some things around with my reservation. Is there something wrong? Look, I think we both know things didn't go too well today. What's going on?
She was just here, and then she wasn't.
If I was in your position, I would enjoy the package myself. Go on my honeymoon. Honeymoon, vacation. Call it what you want.
Sometimes gravity comes so fast, I don't know where I'm falling to.
Is the seat taken?
Sorry, do I know you?
You on that honeymoon package?
Yes.
Where's your two?
That's personal.
Oh, it's a no-show. Hey, Scoozy, big tuna. He's gonna need that. Got left at the altar.
No, I never said that.
I'm Claudia. I like your hair.
That's not gonna help him. He needs to heal.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what it means.
What's your name?
Matt, and you are Cafe del Sole.
Gia.
No, I know. I was just trying to be funny.
Okay, I keep trying.
Okay, I can't watch anymore. I'm not gonna go see that movie. I didn't know what it was. I just said Kevin James. How bad can it be? Because I like Kevin James, but that's just not something I'm gonna watch. It's called Solo Mio. Oh, Solo Mio. You get it? He's by himself because he got left at the altar. Solo Mio. Like Han Solo. I didn't know he got his name that way. Is it just you? Or is another party with you? No, it's just me. When your last name? Well, that is a stammer. It goes Solo. Something like that. Solo. All right. This is not normal. Breaking, says Christopher Green. Breaking. This is not normal emergency hard alien disclosures / new technologies. Trump just dropped a jaw-dropping statement that raises major questions about classified weapons, UAP technology, and non-human breakthroughs. Really. Let's take a look, shall we? We have weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons nobody have ever heard of. They couldn't fire a single shot at us. They pulled the trigger, nothing happened. They were completely discombobulated. Let that sink in. Oh, no, let that sink in. So we have a weapon that can stop their weapons from discharging. That sounds like a controlled EMP burst, an electromagnetic pulse, sort of, but I don't know. This is what's interesting now about warfare, right? You send your little drones out there, your little robot men, right? I would send robot Rosie O'Donnells out there. Can you imagine 200 of those things coming at you? You know, those chapped lips and whatever. Emergency weapons system built by Russia and China were rendered useless. Triggers pulled, no response, total failure, no kinetic exchange required. Trump says these systems are now headed back to the drawing board. So what actually stopped them? Non-kinetic weapons? Reverse engineered UFO tech? Electromagnetic or quantum suppression? AI-driven battlefield dominance? Well, this comes as alien disclosure and UFO revelations continue accelerating, with government quietly admitting these craft outperform known physics. Are we seeing exotic energy weapons? Reality, denial systems, non-human tech finally operationalized. Trump says he can't even talk about it. That's not secrecy. That's something the public is not ready to process. Who are you to talk for me? Something big is being concealed. Something big just got tested, and the world just noticed. Let's take a listen.
So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we've got them in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
no anti-aircraft missiles went up.
Yes.
There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people that sent it. They said, what the hell is going on? Those defensive systems were made by Russia and by China. So they're going to go back to the drawing boards, I guess. So now our country...
So I guess they're going to go back to the drawing board, I guess. Yeah. That's think about what he said. They pulled the trigger, nothing happens. That sounds like, because if everything now is computerized, pretty much, your gun still isn't computerized. At least the guys don't got to go, hold on, let me put my thumb on my trigger. Okay. It doesn't recognize my face. Come on, that's me. You're out in the battlefield there. You see a bunch of people going, you hear a low murmur on the battlefield. I hate you. Anyway. Very interesting. See, now don't forget, July 8th is supposed to be this big announcement. Trump disclosure. I love this time of year. Isn't it nice? I don't know, man. I can't think of what it's a non-kinetic energy, so I'm just trying to think. EMP comes to mind. Usually in the old days, there would be some sort of explosion or rumble in the air. You'd notice the wave of the blast, right? Not really, but you'd hear it. I guess, I don't know if that happened here. It doesn't seem like it. Trump's like, I guess the whole world found out. All right. 18 holes tomorrow, I guess. On December 23rd, 2025, a couple of sisters spotted a flying saucer-like object in the sky. The witnesses stated that due to her smartphone, one of the sisters, turning off, they couldn't get any longer footage than what they have, but they were able to take a couple of pictures when the phone kept shutting down. I don't know if they wrote that wrong, but I understand what they're saying. They couldn't take any more video or any. And as the phone's shutting down, I guess they opened up the app and snuck a few pics. Well, this is what it's supposed to be. From Truth Poll on X.
Usted sintió mucho susto cuando vio este artefacto. ¿Qué sintió usted? Cuéntenos la historia.
La verdad, sí, un susto, fue una impresión porque es algo que uno no ve a diario.
Watch him out.
Claro.
Es algo, la verdad, fue un susto bastante grande.
¿De qué tamaño usted cree que era ese artefacto?
Oh, look at that.
Yo creo que aproximadamente unos 3 metros.
Wow, wow.
En la que yo andaba ese día.
Dude. Okay. See, all right. I'm a little happy here. I don't think she's faking this. Orgasms, probably. But this gave me one. 2. I think this is real. Take a look, listen, watch,
Se
learn.
imagino la impresión que usted le dio ver ese artefacto, o sea, una cuatrimoto volando pero plana. Le dio mucha impresión a usted. ¿Y qué decía su hermanita?
No, ella asustaba, apenas miraba y decía groserías ahí.
¿Quién fue la primera que lo vio, usted o ella?
No, mi hermanita.
Y ella fue la que le anunció
Sí,
porque en el
porque
video
ella-
ella te comentó, Natalia, mira esto. Incluso ya hice un par de vulgaridades ahí.
That's
pero
so
bueno, es algo
good,
muy real
right?
y es algo que es en directo. Natalia, cuénteme una
Oh
cosa.
my God, this is
Ese
unbelievable
video
to
usted
me.
lo filmó en 4K. ¿Por qué no siguió filmando más?
Here. Look at the angles, though. You never see this. If this is, look at this angle. Look at that wide openness. And you can see, you never see angles like from, grassy areas like this, marshy, wet, mountainous, cloudy, sunny days. Look at this.
Acá.
I
siguió filmando
think this
más?
is incredible.
Porque había
I don't
momentos
know
en
if
que
it's
el
fake.
celular se me estaba apagando.
I don't think it is.
Se me apagaba, entonces pues no de decir ya lo último de seguir insistiendo porque era muy...
Whoa, no. I didn't watch this yet, so I didn't know this was here. This is the pictures that she got. of
Demoraba
this.
mucho en prender. Se apagaba y cuando... Estaba pegado casi a la torre. Sí,
Estaba casi
sí,
pegado a la
estaba
torre.
pegado en la torre,
Oh, look at that. It's right here.
sí,
Wow.
señor.
Usted dice que él medía
It's stuck to the tower, she said.
más o menos ¿cuánto?
Unos 3 metros.
3 metros.
aproximadamente.
9,
Usted
10
dice que
feet.
era el grandor del artefacto en que usted andaba la moto.
Sí, sí, señor.
Oh, wow. What do you guys think? Huh? The power line is wrong. Word? How's it wrong?
Él medía
I don't understand. This picture or the last one she showed where it was stuck to it? I don't know how that there's two pictures and
pegado casi a
there's
la
nothing
torre.
showing
Sí, estaba
anything's
casi
wrong.
pegado a la
What do you see that's wrong here? I almost thought these were look at this. They're not identical. But I thought this was copy and paste because these almost look exactly like this one looks like these three, these 3 spikes here look almost exactly like this, but they're not exact. This one is open a little more than this one, but it looks like a different angle. This one is a little more chink than this one, but I don't know. Oh, no.
torre.
Pegado en la
May-
torre.
I don't know, bro.
Sí, señor.
Usted dice que él
Hey, wait a second. See if you see anything like an alien getting in and out. Maybe you see a hand grabbing onto the wires.
medía más o menos ¿cuánto?
Unos 3 metros.
Oh,
3
it's not
metros.
video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Stupid I am. Sometimes I feel like and other times I don't. I just thought that was a cool video. You think it's real? I think it's real. Yeah, it's only 9 feet. That's small. What does it matter if it's in front? That makes absolutely no sense, Stars and Night Vision. The UFO is in front of the power line, which makes it quite a small UFO, but when you put it behind, it's so big it blocks the sun. No, you're half joking, but that's a weird comment. It makes no sense in the front or the back. Oh. Yeah, I got somebody sent a PayPal. I think it's probably somebody we know. It is! Oh my gosh. It's Jeanette, the angel of Goofon, the most incredible human being that has ever walked in the existence of other humans. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Jeanette. Jeanette, the angel of Goofon. Appreciate that. If you guys want to help support, all the links are in the show description. All right. Thank you, Stars and Night Vision. I'm busting your chops, but it was funny. All right, here we go. This is really good stuff. I did that. Hey, Dorothy, how are you? A $2 super duper chat. Tim Freestone's here. It can't be happening, folks. We've got history and nostalgia all in one place tonight. Woohoo! Ha ha! Was that baby Vince Neil? Woohoo! Yeah! It is. Smirking in the boys' room. I tell you now, teacher, don't you feel me? Right with your rules, 'cause everybody knows that smoking ain't allowed in school. Thank you, Dorothy, for the $2 super chat. It's a, what did we call those? A super dono. It's a donation with no sticker, emoji, comment. It's just pure love. Thank you. Right back at you. I'm glad you're doing well. Metalhead, thank you for the same. It's a man-sized dono. So we just say, it's a $2 dono from Metalhead. Hey, gosh, all over the other donos. Right? Are we good? All right. Who's watching this going, why would anybody watch this show? Because you came at the part where people are being very generous. And at this time, you know, we celebrate that because I do that. Well, thank you for asking that question to yourself as somebody else, Rich. That good. On Vargina. Thanks, Metalhead. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Woohoo, yeah. Smoking in the boys' room. Well, now, teen, don't you feel me? Up with your rules, 'cause everybody knows that. In school. All right. Embedded carbon nanotubes directly into aircraft skins, so the structure itself carries power, data, and sensing. Yep. Yeah. They're called metamaterials, right? No? Materials that change shape on command, behaving like muscle. Aircraft that actively reconfigures its shape according to the speed, the weather conditions, how many people, how much fuel is left, all that stuff, tough guy. So here it is. That was then back then, you know, a long time ago. If we would have given this to Lockheed Martin 11 years ago, imagine what they would have now. More importantly, how much of what we're calling unidentified is actually the result of technologies that just outpaced our expectations? That's what I think happened. I think a lot of people got busy, got lucky. They discovered something maybe, you know, and UFOs.
So that information doesn't flow through a wire next to a structure, but literally
Pia McClorick gifted a membership.
We'll be able
Say
to
word.
grow or make a structure, let's say is the skin of an aircraft.
Zach,
that inside of that is also contained the sensors or the energy storage or many different multiple functions.
New materials that are on the lab bench right now, they can literally change shape on command. They can become almost a muscular material.
Isn't that
you could
awesome?
have an airplane that optimizes its shape for the different flight conditions it's in.
There's definitely a lot of amazing technology that's going.
Okay, I want you to think about what we're hearing, right? How many times have you heard, and I know one case, the Phoenix Lights, where the wings were very wide open when it was just at walking pace and it was still floating at walking pace. And the wings would go into more angular, you know, they would come in, you know, more aerodynamic, and then it would go 5 miles in like a second, and then the wings would open up, and very strange. I wonder if that's what we saw, some sort of craft. That's what I think the Phoenix Lights were, like an introduction to that stuff. When you looked up into from the ground up, I didn't see this. This is all the witnesses I spoke to. It's in the movies, the books, and all that. They said it looked like the lights were part of the craft. the craft was made from the light, not the light was made from the craft. Right. It was magical. However, back in the late 80s, there was a technology being created, invented, where you could get together, they did. I mean, they had a huge airplane hangar with this type of blimp that you couldn't even hear float over you. And it was extremely huge, like 1,100 feet or something. We talked about it on the show, but I think that's what's going on. I think we're getting a lot of new technology from the aliens.
On the Lockheed Samurai, based on a small maple seed-like looking device. The fact that we can package enough energy for something like that to fly and still carry a sensor, a camera, enough control capability for it to fly is amazing to me. As we go forward, we're going to find new ways of using these unmanned vehicles.
They'll probably be autonomous.
I want to tell you something really wicked. I just realized this. I don't really care about talking about my experiences every time I have to tell you something, but when it relates to what we're watching and this type of skin that could be on craft, I told my story several times through the years about this dream I had, which I don't know if it was, to be honest with you. I mean, to this day, it felt like it was real, I'm not going to get into all the details, but when the craft came down and close to the ground to where I could touch it, I was able to see the craft, the details a lot more from the angle with the moon, and there was a storm and lightning was going off, so I could see a lot. And it looked like the game Tetris. There were like literally squares in different shapes, no triangles, no circles. Everything had a right angle to it, and everything was shifting and it moved. And the ship, when it came down, it sounded like dominoes. And it was the craft getting smaller, making itself smaller to fit in my backyard. There were two other satellite craft, which were red lights, that came out of that craft. And they went to my 6 and stayed up in the sky about 100 feet, like guarding us. But when I touched the craft, the vibration, I can imagine it's just like what we're hearing, just like what we're seeing here. This is really amazing to me. When I touched the craft, it vibrated. I thought it was hot. So and something told me it's not hot. So I put my hand back on it and I'm sliding my hand along it. And my hand was sinking in like a Tempur-Pedic mattress. I've had 2 dreams where I touched UFOs. The other one was a disc in front of the house during a thunderstorm. Well, a thunderstorm moving in, and couldn't see it. It was invisible, but it reminded me of the Predator. So I walk out there, and I didn't notice it from where I was, but on the ground was a dry circle because, it's a disc and it's in the middle of the road and it's raining a little bit and it's blocking the rain. I mean, what kind of detail is that for a dream? You know what I mean? Isn't that wild? And here's the most wildest thing of all. And we all heard this before. Not this, but we all heard people talk about what I'm about to tell you. And James Lukatsky's the last guy to talk about what it was like, I think, when he went inside the craft, and it was much bigger than what he thought because, gravity. I don't know. But that's what happened to me. When I slid my hand in, and then I found the entrance because I couldn't see the craft, and a voice tells me, "It's okay, come in." And I do this, and it's red lighting, like a movie theater. is what it reminded me of. And there was track lighting on the ground. Couldn't see anything, but you could see the outline of the red track. So I knew where to walk. And when I stepped inside, I could see everything outside. I was just raised up a little bit, about 5-10 feet. It's kind of cool. And then it said, you might want to sit down. And I didn't. And I'm like this, looking out the front. It was just like that movie where that kid was flying that craft. What was that? The Flight of the Navigator. It was just like it. Maybe that's why I had that dream. It was around that time. No, it was before that movie came out, actually. I had that dream. I had that dream in 83. What year did Flight of the Navigator come out? I thought it was 87. Here we go. 86. Okay. It follows the story of a 12-year-old David Freeman. Get it? Free man. Who mysteriously disappears in 1978 and reappears 8 years later in 1986 without having aged a single day. The disappearance on July 4th, 1978, David falls into a ravine. Oh, Gemini. All right, let's finish watching this. And I can't remember why I had to tell you all what I just did. There was a purpose to it. Oh, yeah, because the way I'm seeing these craft and what they're made of and what they're saying they could be made of, shape-shifting crafts. Not only shape-shifting, but other things too. It's pretty wild. Really, really wild if this is true. Because it would make sense for me to validate seeing what I saw in those experiences, those dreams, whatever.
So they'll be like UAVs, but carry cargo around where there are currently no infrastructure in place.
We may have small swarms of small vehicles interacting with a larger vehicle that basically combines the information from that swarm. So maybe one vehicle flies a small distance and another vehicle learns from it and knows which way to fly.
Probably what makes sense is a heterogeneous swarm. One where not every element of the swarm is the same. Some elements of the swarm carrying sensors, some carrying other types of electronics. So it's an adaptable system that can adapt to a changing environment and a changing future that is difficult for us to predict.
The true value of research is not in the answer you get that you knew you were looking for, but the answer that you find that you didn't know to look for.
You know, when you see all those airplanes, not the only thing that reminds me of some super technology, advanced is just the way it looks. I mean, other than that, no UFOs. All right, let's have a little fun. This black sphere over Alaska, not Australia. Unbelievable footage. 26 seconds. I think it's fake. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fun.
This thing.
That's crazy.
Crazy fun.
Insane. Jesus Christ.
Superstar.
Look at this thing.
Look at this thing. Fly by me. Crazy fun.
Look at this thing.
What do you guys think? Real, fake, or real fake? Anybody? Anybody have any ideas on that? Pee Wee Herman was the voice of the spaceship. He was? No way. I didn't know that. Yes, I used to do that voice all the time. Rich, do Pee Wee. Then they started calling me Pee Wee and I stopped doing the voice, so then they went back to Rich. I didn't want to be P. I'm not Pee-wee. I'm trying to use the phone. Remember those days? Jim Carrey does them really well. My voice is broke. Still sore from throwing up. Got a really good video to watch. This is that UFO sighting I was talking to you about at the beginning of the show. Multiple objects have been reported now in 5 states. This, what you're about to see, you've never seen anything like it. I'm just telling you, unless you saw this video already. Here we go. 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Okay, so there's 2 separate.
What is that yellow-orange light? The orange light.
Going on here, and I seen these the other night too.
Why is that orange? I don't understand. So there must be 2 objects here. Because you can see through this. Between it, I mean. Hi, Paula. Hi, Kelly. Hey, James already said something. Vamp Skider. What's up? How is everybody? Thanks for hanging out here at Koofon. Scott Blight. What's up? Yeah, I thought it was fake, too. Thanks for hanging out, man. Dan Peters, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Mr. Hellfire, how you doing, buddy? David Wilcox, not Wilcox. He was here long ago after 7 o'clock. But not Jeanette, she was just a little late singing, "It's 12 a.m. Can I get a break?" Dun 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 dun. All right, son. That was funny. And Stars and Night Vision, good to see you. So, you know, I was saying you're going to see something you've never seen before. You know, and I am now mad at myself that this video got worse as we watched it. Does she not know it's out of focus?
2 separate things.
And the problem with mobile phones, do not ever go UFO hunting with a mobile phone and tell me you went UFO hunting. I'll never, ever, ever speak to you again. You have to go with a real camera, a camcorder type thing. Something that zooms like 50, 60, 1,000 times. You can put extensions on it. Something that, you know, can't be easily faked. And then you don't have to worry about this minimalizing yourself. Your phones can only do so much at night. Why am I yelling? I don't know how I'm mad about it.
like two separate things.
Goofon's we're gonna blow up. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna try. All right. I just wanted to show you that video. All right, this is a very interesting part of the show. So I don't know what to do with this clip. I don't even know if we should even play it. Because it works itself into ufology, but it's more or less about religion. And you know, in other things like I don't know. I'm not going to play it now. If we have time, I will. All right, here we go. Let's do something else. I'm going to skip over that. All right, here we go. No. I want you guys to watch this because I think you should hear it. It has nothing to do with anything except white, the color white. Ready? Tucker Carlson. Uh-oh, you're already... Oh, he hurt himself.
Those were the numbers. So here's what they were. The biggest city in the United States then and now.
Do you know what we're talking about here? This is the decline of the white man. And people at a certain demographic are saying that they're integrating and it's great for the country. It's not. And when you hear the cities that used to have 80-90% all white people that are now 30-40%, and then think, oh my God, that city's in ruins right now. You know, politics suck, don't they?
Those were the numbers. So here's what they were. The biggest city in the United States then and now is New York City. New York City in 1950 was 90% white. 71 million New Yorkers out of 7.9 million were white. Chicago in 1950 was 86% white. Philadelphia, over 80%. Los Angeles, 94% white.
That is
94% white. That's almost an ethno-state, actually, at that point. Detroit, Michigan, home of Ford, GM, and Chrysler, 84% white. Baltimore, steel and shipping capital of the Mid-Atlantic, 76% white. That was 1950. You know people who were alive in 1950. Maybe you were. Yeah. Here are the numbers today. Baltimore, 27% white. Detroit, about 10% white, down from 84. Los Angeles, again, 94%, about 37% white now. Philadelphia, 36%. Chicago, less than 30%. And New York City, again, the biggest city in the country, is now around 30% white, down from 90% in 1950.
That whole show where he gets all this information on what's happening in America and abroad, it's really interesting. Weird, isn't it? Whites are the minorities in a few years. I can't tell the difference. Not where I live. Because, you know, I live in Florida, where I live is average, I guess. Yeah, mine are, it's, where I live, it's, I think, 83% or 83% white, 17 other. So, okay. Are you guys, all right, let me just do this. This is from Open-Minded Approach on X. Palmer Luckey, who is the founder of the defense technology firm Anduril Industries. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. Andurill, Anduril Industries, which is a military contractor, says that UFOs come from the past. How do they know? Why would he say such a thing? Yes, He says they are technology from an ancient breakaway civilization that survived the cyclical event. They are piggybacking on the current civilization and use us as resources. This is also an interdimensional aspect which is more important than anything physical or materialistic and is directly connected to evolution. That, to me, is wicked cool, yeah? All right, let's play it. I do. I really like this. Wow. Do you know who this looks like to me? Michael Roser in the future. 50 years in the future. Oh my God, he has got to see this at 56 minutes and 30 seconds. Michael Roser in the future. Yo, that's him. All right, here we go.
So you don't think UAPs use optical camouflage?
Oh my God, he sounds like him and he stands like him. This is crazy. Okay, I'll go back.
So you don't think UAPs use optical camouflage?
I think that look, there's a lot that we don't understand about these vehicles and what they are, where or when they come from. But it is likely that whatever they are doing is a side effect or an artifact of what's going on. So like I've talked about this with people. They're like, well, how come like sometimes they're invisible in certain spectrums? And my point is, well, like what if they are not interacting with reality itself in a way you would expect? Like some of these things, you see them and they don't have any radar signature either. I don't know if that means they're cloaking themselves actively or if it means that just they do not exist even in the way that we think about physical matter. I don't know if it's an active countermeasure so much as the nature of the thing itself. But of course, there's so much that we don't know. My current working theory is that they come from the past. So
interesting. Okay.
Coming from the future is too hard. The physics just don't seem to work out. But if you think about it in a certain perspective, like there's a question of where they come from. Like, do they come from Earth? Do they come from nearby? Do they come from really, really far away? Wherever they come from, spatially, the question then is, okay, temporally, what is more likely, that they happen to have come from this particular instant in time, or the hundreds of millions or billions of years that it existed prior to our existence? That could be true if they were just like waiting around and then came over, at some point. It could be the case if they are regularly surveying and have just been around for a long time. You could imagine a world where maybe the Earth hosted advanced civilizations a billion years ago and we just don't even know about them, and these are the remnants of that. I'm not betting on any of these. It's just that wherever they come from geographically, there's a very, very long tail of time. And also there's ways to travel forward through time very quickly. If I create a very strong gravity distortion, I can have subjective time inside of that bubble passing very, very slowly relative to the time racing by outside of it. And so it's very believable that something from the distant past could come to our present. It's not really believable that something can come from the future back into our present. So that's my bet, is basically, given that there's been a lot more time before now than now, just probabilistically speaking, I think it's likely these things have been around for a very long time. And either spent a long...
Well, they would have to be around for a very long time if they have the technology that they're using. Yeah. They just came out of the caves and then they're speaking 7 languages and inventing skyscrapers and, getting to the moon. Hey, Ooga, put the rock down and pick up your stethoscope and go check out the horses. I want to see if we need to shoot a few for new glue I'm testing. Huh? That's just all I can come up with. That's the intelligence of me. Shooting a horse to get glue.
Long time coming to us, or to themselves subjectively, not much time at all.
Oh.
That's it. Look, I'm not saying I know what's up. That's just my...
Not saying I know, but I'm
not saying
some ideas.
I'm not saying I know what's up. I'm saying that is my current guess.
Okay.
Based on what I know.
Interesting. You said this was like your most underrated product. So why?
Sorry. The last thing is, like, the real bet here is I don't think any of these UAPs, I think it's unlikely they were manufactured or created like within the last few years. That seems very unlikely.
What? What? Who is this guy? What did he just say? That made no sense. In the last few years, well, what happened in 47?
This was like your most underrated product. So why?
Oh, sorry. And last thing is like the real bet here is I don't think any of these UAPs, I think it's unlikely they were manufactured or created like within the last few years. That seems very unlikely. I think they've either been around for a very long time, stored for a very long time, created a very long time ago, or traveled from the distant past into our present. Well, see, that's impossible to say. You know, this is the theory, of course, like, you know, that there's these undersea alien bases, that these things are destroyed there. There's an out-of-print book called the UFOs and USOs of the Santa Catalina Channel, and it's all about how people have seen these things that have gone into and out of the ocean in extremely similar ways over the course of decades. And so, like, it's believable. But of course, being stored on Earth does not necessarily mean they came from here, nor does it not. But I would bet that these things are not recently manufactured. I suspect they've been around for either a long time or maybe a really, really long time.
How does that make you feel about?
Was that an awkward ending there? Let's see. Let's watch.
I suspect they've been around for either a long time or maybe a really, really long time.
How does that make you feel about our technological superiority?
I think that the UAP stuff and our technological development live in completely parallel development tracks right now. If and when we figure out what's going on with UAPs, UFOs, that whole universe, everything's going to change. This won't be relevant.
I don't know what to say. I'm like, do I say something or just have the longest dead air in history? Yeah, I really don't have anything to add on that. I was doing other stuff, trying to say hi to people, and so, you know, I didn't really care about that segment. Hey, it happens. All right, so Tim Taylor, remember that guy? Tim Taylor, the shadowy NASA insider pulling strings in the UFO world. Shama, remember? A couple of days ago, I was talking about Christopher Bledsoe and why do really respectable people believe him? Like an astronaut, this guy, Tim Taylor. Bledsoe calls him a friend. Like, how? Why? Like, why are these people interested in hearing his story? Do people know something we don't know? Did Christopher Bledsoe agree to terms of a government contract to get, I don't know, but to get that experience, that good one, the real one, to have that happen, and then to continue the story, for the greater good, whatever, for a distraction. See, that's what makes sense to me. This is why when I look at his videos and they're blurry, I'm like, why are they always blurry? What? He's not even trying to focus. It's weird. It's like I'm constantly trying to focus. It's like things moving. It's like the Charlie Kirk assassin. Everybody acted very strangely. His friends just 1.2 seconds after he gets shot, one of his friends just turns and walks away very slowly, puts the phone up as if he was talking to somebody, and walked over a half a mile out of scene. If you saw your friend get shot, wouldn't you be like, what the yo? No, it's over. Stuff like that. And then the other guy who was standing next to that guy goes under the tunnel where the cars were, jumps up on a place where you could oversee everything, and fake cries, "They just shot Charlie. They just killed Charlie." And then, you see him carry the body out, and he's up there recording it all. There wasn't a lot of blood. Nobody got bloody. I mean, there was some, but so all that weird stuff is exactly what happens with Bledsoe. All of his stuff, it's nothing. So let's just say in that area where he lives, I forget where it is, Georgia, is it? In that area, maybe something happened and they needed to have a faith in something like the White Lady. I'm trying to make it make sense, because the only thing that makes sense is that he's being paid to do this. And it's almost like he's mocking us. And the people that you see him friends with, I mean, even we're talking about guys who were in Nam, who were submarine guys. What was that guy's name who went and stayed with him for 5 days? Says, "Oh yeah, it's real. Whatever's going on with Bledsoe, it's real." It's like all of these military people. It's like they're congratulating him for doing a good job. It worked. And now it's your career, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? I don't know. That's what, if he was paid and didn't care, and now he's mocking us, like this picture here, I mean, to me, I have never seen a picture of Bledsoe smiling like this. And that's a little too much. Come on now. You know what I mean? Slow down there, Chief. Right? When was this picture? Is that recent? Because he looks younger here. Well, if you've been chasing this UFO rabbit hole since the old MJ-12 days, the Disclosure Project type, or even the Grush bombshells, you felt that nagging sense. There's always someone in the background calling the shots. What did I just do? Calling the shots without ever stepping into the light. Enter Tim Taylor. Not the sitcom dad, but the real enigma, former NASA mission controller, aerospace vet, biotech patent holder, and the guy Diana Pasulka disguised as Tyler D in American Cosmic. Back in the day, Taylor was deep in Kennedy Space Center ops, handling launches, classified payloads, even tied into the Challenger aftermath reviews. Solid creds on paper, but the story twists when he starts showing up in experiencer circles. He blindfolds academics like Pasulka and Gary Nolan, drives them to alleged old crash sites in New Mexico, pulls out bizarre metamaterials from his pack, stuff that, looks like crumpled foil but snaps back flawless, maybe laced off with world isotopes. He gets Vatican archive access on a whim, no escort needed. Goes from skeptic to devout Catholic after digging through ancient docs. What flipped him? Nobody knows for sure. Fast forward. He's tight with Christopher Bledsoe. Shows up at Bledsoe's place with classified slides. Family only, big warnings. Runs tests with those exotic samples. Bledsoe has a massive reaction. Strongest Taylor's supposedly ever witnessed. See, they're pumping him up again, man. They want him to be their guy, the next Jesus. Bledsoe calls him a friend who works for the Hammer, some cosmic force working for God. Lives monk-like for downloads, quote-unquote, from non-human intelligence. Whispers of time travel groups in the Bahamas, multi-agency clearances, letting him breeze past TSA like it's nothing. That scares the shit out of me. Newer stuff keeps the mystery alive. Podcasts and deep dives paint him as a gatekeeper, influencing Valet, Nolan, even distant SpaceX / Elon Musk echoes. He claims ideas hit him as, quote-unquote, future memories from NHI, leading to dozens of biomedical patents. No public interviews, no spotlight chasing, just quiet moves, shaping what leaked out in the modern UFO scene, metamaterials, consciousness links, crash donations, quote-unquote, for reverse engineering. Is he a patriot, safeguarding real secrets? A narrative manager, dangling just enough to control the flow? Or something darker, steering the whole community toward whatever endgame he's privy to? Privy to? The man's fingerprints are everywhere in today's ufology renaissance, yet he stays a ghost. That silence alone should make every red-blooded guy who's followed this for decades sit up and wonder, what's he really hiding and why? Stupid! God. Really? Yep. I don't know, my peeps. I'm a little scared. I'm scared. And I've cottonmouthed to the likes of cotton balls. That's pretty accurate. All right, let me pull something else up here. I got some good stuff. All right. Hey. Hey. Oh, here it is. We already watched that. All right, get rid of that. Oh, no, I need to save that. All right, I'm going to play this Alberini thing. So the upcoming alien deception will be so great as to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Gentlemen, let us not be torn apart at that very moment when we need each other the most. God is raising up Christians who don't fit in the religious mold, people no one expects. He moves through unexpected people in ordinary places and through untraditional paths. Rather, let us suffer our disagreements and differences, because the only thing that matters is, who do you say that I am? 4, 3, from Fringe on X, 1.
Horizon, this great deception that leads to the Antichrist is at our doorstep, closer than it's ever been, surely. I would sound the alarm about the nature of listening to experts talk about disclosure,
Nathan,
experts
Dark
like, let's say,
Hour.
the Vatican, for example, and that you should have a very healthy distrust for anything that presents itself as this alien phenomenon, and that really your eyes and your heart should be focused on Jesus Christ.
The Antichrist, I believe, is going to come and be received. He's going to come, I believe, at the helm of an aerospace vehicle and will be received as an extraterrestrial savior. And that he will be received by Christians as the second coming of Christ. He's going to be an imposter. He'll be received by every major world religion as their Christ figure. And he's going to deliver us, in my estimation, and this is just a theory, from the gray alien threat. That's what I write in Birthright.
Mm-hmm.
And, or perhaps or some kind of a cataclysmic event, an asteroid or something like that. And so the deception that I talk about in regard to this topic is the presentation of this imposter, this person who is claiming to be Christ, but who is, from my perspective, the seed of Satan, the offspring.
Do you know, you don't, I was just going to say, I've heard this my whole life. The imposter. I think we all have, right? When there's supposed to be the coming of Christ again, or he's coming back, whatever. Oh yeah, he's going to be an imposter. See, Trump is not admitting he's Jesus or a king. So let it go. But I am very, very into this. I didn't know it was going to be like this.
The son of Satan, who will present himself to the world as our savior. Yes, I believe that the Vatican is quietly, especially the Jesuits, quietly crafting quietly building the theological substrate, the foundation to receive our alien saviors. And I believe that those alien saviors, in contrast to gray aliens, which of course are ugly little exotic beings, the saviors that the world will receive with open arms are going to look like us, are going to look like what in ufology are called the Pleiadians or the Nordics.
You're saying that
wait, but aren't those okay? Aren't the Pleiadians or the Nordics, I should say, the tall whites? See, this is where you get me being a little skeptical, because now, we're talking about things that I've been my whole life been waiting for, and we're talking like, end times, this might actually come true. See, they were gods. They were aliens, but this is what I felt since I've been 6-7 years old. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I was having wicked, I would be shrunk down to the smaller than a dust bunny, because they would be next to me, and it was the most disgusting, vile thing you could ever imagine as a 2-inch tall person. Digest. All right, let's finish this.
Expect this savior that will be Antichrist or the Antichrist to come from this camp, this tall Nords, this Pleiadians, and that they're going to defeat this threat that is the gray aliens. Is that what you said there?
I suspect that that's true. I don't know that
Nathan.
that's true for sure. I suspect that something like that is going to play out. Nobody knows exactly where all of this is headed, except to say that it's headed to Armageddon. It's going to revolve around this person that
But who could it be? This is what really gets me. In modern era, I don't see this happening. And I don't think they could have foreseen how the future would have looked like 2,000 years later. Because what we're talking about is a person who is going to be the devil, right? Fake being nice. We're all going to know this person. We're all going to trust this person. And then they're going to reveal themselves as the Antichrist, and bada boom. I don't know if that means World War III or if the whole thing is symbolic. See, I think it symbolizes something. I don't think we're talking about actual beings. I think there may be something lost in translation. I don't know. This is what bothers me about this stuff and religion. There's so many things that contradict itself. I'm like, wait, didn't he just say you murder, but then didn't somebody over here get away with it? Man, I'm confused. Well, vengeance is a tricky thing in the law, but in God's eyes, nobody should be killing. Nobody. It's one of the 10. 15, remember? Oh, right. He dropped 5.
shows up in the world, and I don't think it's just going to be a political figure, who presents himself as
Savior,
the Son of God.
Oh my God.
As the Christ. But he will be anti-Christ.
Hold on. Somebody has going to have the ego and the balls to call themselves this. I just figured it out. It's going to be an artist. And just like Prince was the symbol. Okay. That's what it's going to be. He's going to say, you can call me the Son of God because my music is like that. You feel it, right? And then you listen to the music and it's chants and curses and tomfoolery with a little bit of magic and witchcraftery.
And he will be in opposition
I'm scared.
to Christ and to his people. That's the deception. That's the great deception.
Yes.
And people will follow him. So this all hinges on, the deception itself hinges on Jesus's words to his question. The most important question posed in the Bible, cover to cover. This is unquestionably the most important question posed. And it's Jesus talking to his disciples. And he says, "Who do men say that I am?" And they say, "Well, some say you're Elijah, some say you're the prophet."
Who dis? It says it on somebody unearths a tablet and it just has those two words with a question mark. Who dis?
But Jesus asks them, "Who do you say that I am?"
I thought he was going to say.
And Peter says, "You are the Messiah, the Son of God." And then Jesus said, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven." And then he says, "On this rock I will build my church." And of course, the rock that he's talking about is the revelation of who he is. That's the rock that the church is built on. So what is the lie? What is the deception? It's the antithesis of that. The deception is an imposter who comes in the name of Christ, who presents himself as the Savior, the Son of God. And of course, his God is the dragon. Okay. So what you're going to have is you're going to have an inversion of the gospel. It's Luciferianism. It's the lie. It's the Luciferian lie that Yahweh was Yahweh was a tyrant who enslaved mankind, and that it was actually this figure we call Lucifer, which is actually a misnomer from the Vulgate, this being that the Bible defines as the devil and Satan, who was in Eden, the Garden of God with Eve, that being will be presented as the real benefactor of mankind. This is the Promethean benefactor of mankind. This is the good guy. He's pro-humanity. He enlightens us. He breaks the shackles of Yahweh and liberates mankind. That's the lie.
Huh?
His son, I believe his hybrid son, will be presented in the place of...
Did you hear what he said? His hybrid son.
Christ. That's what Antichrist means, by the way. In the place of Christ. That's the lie. That's the deception.
That's wicked. I'm excited to see what happens. I hope I make it. I hope I make it to the end of this world. That was cool, actually. Yeah, I didn't know any of that stuff, really. I knew some of it. All right, I knew it all, but, you got to act like you don't know anything, because I really didn't. I was joking. I don't know anything what he just said, but I knew a little bit. All right, I knew it all, but I had to lie. I had to try it again just to see if you were paying attention, which you are. No, they're not. I know. All right, let's, oh my God, it's 8:23 already? This is, time just flew. Anytime we do a show where I'm having a good time, doesn't it go by slow for you? It goes by fast for me. 2, 1. Nathan, thank you very much. I got your PayPal. I couldn't remember it. I got it, and I appreciate it. And aliens coming here, he says. Still not demons. Gosh over those demons, if there are any. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You have to do that. Thank you, though. Nathan, the Quantum Show. Saturday, 10:30, 10-ish. I don't know. We'll have to double check. That's it for tonight. Yeah, I can't believe it's time to go. That's enough anyway. I need to eat. I'm starving. And I think I'm going to have to get to bed early, too. My eyes are killing me. I only slept like a couple of hours. It was a horrible night. But thank you, moderators. Very good job. Moderators, super chatters, thank you. That was very generous of everybody tonight. Thank you. Newcomers, thank you. And veterans, thank you for coming here again, making the chat room sing and everybody know their thing. So look, ufology is a real tricky place right now. Everybody lies. That is on TV. Got it? Good. Except for the guy we saw in the interview yesterday. I like that guy, that whistleblower dude. I forget his name already. But that was really good. Yeah, we watched him when he was on Weaponized a little bit. But ufology needs help all the time. So if you ain't looking up, you know what I mean? Then you ain't looking out for ufology. Capiche? All right. That's the cue. All right. I forgot to set up the outro. All right, Alien Blast.
There's look at this thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies over Jerusalem? And why did it downward treasured sites in Christianity?